You people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world. You will witness what happens here today, and you will tell of it later.
Hey everyone, so before we go any further, let's get something really quick out of the way. I am wearing a Grand Theft Auto 3 beanie, so yes, I am talking for the ignorant, the stupid, all the video game fans, who are predisposed to violence and just mentally, not worth, the salt of the earth, where we come from. We're just, morons, dipshits, and all that good stuff. We're not, our words don't carry extra weight. So now we've established what point of view I'm coming from. Let's get on to this gun control, which is easily by far right now the push button topic in the land. To say gun and people already their minds already in that mode of I am this or I am that, which is a very big thing in politics in general. It's something politics has this great way of making two people who could be as tight as they can be on that one topic split. One person's there, one person's there, and it all this stuff has this great way of really just separating everyone. I never really liked politics, but that's a whole other mess altogether. Let's talk about this gun control and everything. And before this goes any other further, I want to give you guys an idea of where I'm coming from and how I see the world, as opposed to engaging with other people. Throw to my voice, not a gun, just it's a frog in my voice. Most people see things as black and white, with the gray area in the middle. I tend to see things this way. There's darkness, black, gray, white, light. And what does that mean? Obviously, black and white is self-explanatory. Gray, self-explanatory. It's the little area between black and white. What's the full-blown black and what's the full-blown white? The full-blown black is beyond evil. These are the things that are so horrific, so unbelievably just wrong, that unless you witness them or experience them, you can't even fathom, that actually exists. To the other end of the spectrum, the bright light is all the great good, all the great miracles, all the joy, happiness that can only come same way if you happen to experience it or see it firsthand. And I like those ends of the spectrum because those are the things that influence the black and the white. There are things that are so horrific, they're so bad that they undercut the black and come into the gray. There are certain things that are so beautiful that undercut the white and come into the gray. What does that mean? That you ever had a moment of doing something right when you just felt absolutely bad, or do something wrong but no, it was good? You ever told a friend a lie to make them feel better? I think that's kind of where the underline comes in. Something so evil just kind of carries through, and you're doing good, but it comes to such a dark place. But conversely, you're doing something so great, you're protecting someone, but you're just shielding it from the pain, and you're just shielding it from all the badness, which is sometimes good, but that it needs to be expressed, it needs to be done. Politics has this way of cutting out the darkness, cutting out the light. That's black and white. There's no gray. It can only be one of the two, which leads to this problem with gun control. You're either pro guns or against guns, which is really stupid because you're totally oblivious to the black, you're totally oblivious to the white, you're totally oblivious to the gray. There is this happy little middle where both sides can coexist. The problem is your lovely politicians, your zany, almost what I'm looking for, want to protect people. They want to make everyone safe and all sound and all that good stuff, but it doesn't work that way. That's not how this world was ever built. That's not how this world will ever be. So now that we've kind of established, how I see the world and how I see things, especially when it comes to politics and gun control, that's the kind of world I see things. It's not just black and white and gray. There's a evil spectrum. There's a great, beautiful spectrum. So that's how I see the world. That's how I see these things kind of just flowing and all that stuff. Okay, and I know, get to control. Why? How am I busting people's balls? All right. So before we get to that, I want to show you this clip, and I'm gonna do it Jimmy Kimmel style, like an asshole. That it's from a fake news show, The Newsroom on HBO, but they use real stories, real facts, and this is a great bit on gun control. And this couple years ago now, but it holds true because it's all true facts. So I want to show you this clip first, and then we're gonna go into where I'm gonna jump in and go apeshit on some people. Okay, here we go.
And radio host Rush Limbaugh has repeatedly warned to his listeners to go out and buy guns before President Obama outlaws them all. The result? In November 2008, the month Mr. Obama was elected, there was a 42% spike in gun background checks as compared to the same month the year before. The country's largest anti-gun lobby is called the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, named for James Brady, President Reagan's press secretary, who was shot in the head during John Hinckley's assassination attempt on the 40th president. The Brady organization gives grades to elected officials based on their record and leadership with regard to gun legislation, with an A being the most anti-gun, and so on. In spite of Governor Palin, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and the director of the NRA telling us emphatically that Barack Obama has a secret plan to get our guns, here's the president's report card. Background checks, F. Gun trafficking, F. Guns in public, F. Federal assault weapons ban, F. Standing up to the gun lobby, F. Not only has no attempt whatsoever been made to dismantle the Second Amendment during Barack Obama's first 2 years in office, the president has signed into law more repeals of federal gun policies than George W. Bush did during his entire 8 years in the White House. In fact, these grades would indicate that President Obama is the best friend the NRA has ever had in elected office, to say nothing of the Oval Office. Why are Sarah Palin, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and the head of the NRA so colossally lying to you? I don't know. But I know when they do, ratings go up, political contributions go up, membership in the NRA goes up, the president's approval rating goes down, and gun sales go through the freaking roof.
Alright, so now that we've established some of the bullshit that goes along with this argument, and how the NRA and other politicians have been lying to the American public for... what century are we in again? Oh, yeah, since the beginning. The bigger problem is that people believe the lies, and part of the reason why people believe lies is the media. Now, I mean the media. I don't want to say news reporters. I don't want to say journalists. I want to say the media, because it's the difference between the media and journalists, and this is why I think there's a difference between the two. Journalists and news reporters, they want the story. They want to bring you the facts. Unfortunately, some of them are dickheads and assholes, and all they care about is the story, and they'll just, shell anything out regardless of how the facts are laid out. They'll put the facts as black and white without giving subtext, without giving context, and therefore the story becomes just utter mush and becomes eventually media and bullshit. What is the media? The media is your Fox News, your CNN, yes. Both of them are guilty of this, and both of them have a unfortunate history of lying to you. Not always lying to you, but leaving bits of the truth out. So they'll give you a story saying the sky is blue, but they'll throw in something else that didn't belong there, or they'll take out why the sky is not blue. They'll throw in something else altogether. I'm not here to show you why Fox and CNN is evil and lying to you. That's some other take. That's another thing. This is gun control. But people believe the lies, and unfortunately, people keep believing it. And then here we are at this grand debate: gun control. Before we get to that, let's understand why this is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. It's nothing to do with the politicians. It's nothing to do with people trying to take your guns away or being too willy-dilly with the guns. The problem, unfortunately, hit that nice little fever pitch when the shootings in Newton, Connecticut happened. Dark, sad, depressing, horrific, dark. Man, that thing I said earlier, light and dark, that was black. That wasn't black and white. That was dark. That was something that's so horrific, so just wrong. Unless you were there, witnessed it, or experienced it, you can't fathom what that does to a psyche, your soul, your emotions, or anything else. We live in an age of media. We live in an age of information being at the ready. That when it hit like a ton of bricks. And unfortunately, Americans, not all humans, picking on Americans on this because unfortunately we have a major habit of doing this. When a horrific thing happens, we overreact, which is, again, okay considering certain things. When bad things happen, you have every right to overreact. Unfortunately, no one brings you back down to earth put your feet back on the ground and let you, digest everything that happened. The greatest prime example I can give was 9/11. Absolutely horrific, absolutely just fucking evil. And we overreacted. And this is what I mean by we overreacted. We did the right thing when we went to war. We pointed the gun at the wrong people. People involved was people in hiding in Afghanistan, some bin Laden. The guns, our whole might should have been pointed at them. We pointed it at Iraq. And that's a whole other thing. I'm not getting into that war, but in the end, in hindsight, it shows easily what we did. We overreacted. We panicked. We couldn't some evil happened. When our feet hit the ground, we didn't go the right way. And that's what's happening with this. An absolutely horrific, evil thing happened. And we should have pointed the gun at the right thing, and we're not. What's the right thing? The right thing is proper gun control. Not taking your guns away. If you love guns, fire away. Own a gun. Go to the range. Check out shows. Do all that stuff. If you want to have a little collection, you know what? I'm down with it. I'm cool with it. What you should not have is a fucking AK in your house. Do you really need a semi-automatic weapon to go fucking deer hunting? For that matter, why are you going deer hunting to begin with? That's where we're gonna start seeing the black and white, where me and you are gonna have different views of, how I see things and you see things. When it comes to hunting, I don't see it. I don't understand it. I'm never gonna understand it. For you hunters out there, kudos to you. You see it, understand it. I'm just telling you my side of things. Yes, you can shoot a deer, you can kill it, mount the head on your wall. Hell, you can take a place to a butcher where you can eat the deer, and that's fine. If you're hunting and killing it, I still don't see it because I don't see a need to hunt an animal, even if I'm gonna kill it. I have a supermarket that does it for me. I can get my chicken, I can get my pork, I can get my beef there. They do all that good shit for me. I have my fishermen that go out there and get the fish. But they're doing it to feed people. You're doing it just to relieve stress, and I don't understand that. I don't see the point of killing an animal to relieve stress, to have fun, even if I'm going to kill it and eat it. It's not gonna work that way. If I was on a farm and I'm killing a chicken, that chicken's fucking dinner. Same token, I can still go to the supermarket and have my dinner. Granted, there are places out in the country, kudos to you, you serve deer and all that good game animals. And you know what? Fucking A, that's cool. But you're serving it as food. You're serving it as just a regular thing. You guys, for a reason, you get kicked out of Poppin' Bambi. Whatever. That's your gig. That's fine. Just go with it. But we're pointing the gun the wrong thing. You think that we're going down this road of they're taking our guns, or you can have that. No, stupid. You're not seeing what the problem has become. The problem isn't that we're trying to take your guns away. We're trying to take the guns away from people who don't need these guns. There should be no reason you have a semi-automatic weapon in your house. There's no reason why you have an AK and M4 in your house. There's no reason why you should have a handgun that qualifies as an elephant stopper in your home. You're just a regular person. You have every right to own a gun and protect your family, protect your land. You can do all that. You want little grabby handguns? I'm all for it. Once you have to do something like this, I got an issue with that. For that, go to a shooting range. They should be owning guns. Trade shows, they should be owning guns. Unless you're in the arms dealership, you should not be having these things in your backyard. That's where the problems of Noonan became. All these shootings happened is because they went to their grandfather's arsenals or their grandmother's arsenals. Why do you have an arsenal? You don't need that. And there is no take on that. And then another part of this gun problem is that now I hate this. We're using the word hero and we're giving it away too freely. And what do I mean by that? I'm coming after politicians again in this next little bit. But remember that guy that started us all, that Marine that went in front of the school. Remember this jackass? Yeah, that dumb fuck. We called him a hero, and then other members of our armed forces, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, whatever, all did start doing the same thing. They all had a gun with them, and they went to local school to protect their school. And we called them heroes. Fuck you, they are not heroes. Out in the real world, where there's real bad guys, where there's real evil going on in other parts of the country, and that's when they're a fucking hero. Holding a gun at a school, you're a fucking security guard. You're not a hero, a security guard. Stop calling them fucking heroes. I'm sick of that word being used to describe these jackoffs. They overreacted to something that was absolutely horrific. Giving them the power to stand in front of a building does not make them a hero. It makes them a fucking security guard. Let's use the words properly. They're not fucking heroes. When I think of the word hero, I think of firemen. You know what else I think of when I think of the word hero? I think of policemen and policewomen who go out on the streets and go after rapists and drug dealers and thieves. Those people. I think of when I think of policemen. I think of the word hero. Now, obviously, the last bit did not show our boys in blue in the most happy photo op ever, but let's put it in perspective. Policemen, clergymen, senators, congressmen, governors, mayors have all been, at some point, unfortunately, found to be of ill repute. We found crooked people in all those. We found crooked people in the armed forces. Just because you're a cop or a member of the armed forces or a clergyman or governor, the title means absolutely shit unless the person behind it is a good person. We've heard plain stories of crooked cops, congressmen, people in the armed forces who went AWOL, who sold arms, just to their own pockets. Listen, it's not a new thing. It's not gonna be a new thing. It'll be around to the crisscross end of time. It'll always be there. The person makes the title worth having. If you're a good cop, you acting as a good cop will make the shield strong. If you're a senator, you doing good by the public will make you an outstanding senator. If you're a total douchebag, then you'll be remembered as a total douchebag senator. It's all a waste of time. So, the title helps. So, when our illustrious members of the armed forces and other divisions of public service stand in front of the school, protecting the school, you're not that anymore. You're a glorified security guard. End of discussion. You're not a hero. Just a security guard. A hero, in this case, would have been if you happened to be at the school for whatever reason, and you saw that asshole coming along, ready to, unfortunately, do things he did, and you stopped him. You're a hero. Period. Just playing security guards and fucking retail sites and shit like that. They're not fucking heroes. They're fucking security guards. You find security guards at the mall also carrying some form of taking down the bad guy weaponry. And that now is a firearm. Sometimes if you're a mall cop, you just probably have like a whistle or a fucking baton. And that's really it. But that's all you are. You're a fucking security guard. Your task at hand is to protect. You're not a hero. Cops are fucking heroes. Firemen are fucking heroes. Who also be considered a real hero. How about this guy? See, Soups qualifies as a hero, or Superman Not Your Gig. How about him? Not good enough? How about the greatest comic book hero of all fucking time? What? Not good enough? Maybe you're into like the group superhero thing, alright? So how about those guys with the rings? The fuck's their names? Those guys, you know them, right? I know I'm making light of everything, but that's just, trying to put things in a little more lighthearted and proper context. Keep your guns, keep your gig, and you need a hero, a true hero. That's what one person you need. The greatest slayer of them all, Faith. But back to this. Unfortunately, there are people who are going to lie to you and tell you the government is trying to take all your guns. They're not trying to take all your guns. Here's what you need to be worried if they are trying to take up your guns. Remember, not too long ago, the internet went to a major uproar in the supposed attempt, not supposed, it was an attempt of censoring the internet, censoring the flow of information, censoring the flow of me talking to you and back and forth about openly discussing how we feel about certain things and reporting certain things. It was not being reported by the mass regular public or regular media. If the powers that be go to such a great extent to do something in the language and how the bill is being written, that it's so vague, so corrupt, so just absolutely that anyone can be found guilty of this bill, then you have absolute right to be pissed off, raise arms, and really fight for what you have. The bill is being put into question is an overreaction to what happened in Newton. The end of discussion. It's not as bad as you make it seem. It's not as bad as you think it is. It can be. Pay attention to it, because if the language of the bill becomes so vague that you're being fucked over, then at that point I think we'll all agree, we'll all be down, gathering around, guns in air, and getting ready to do this.
There was a firefight!
If the language of the bill is so bad, so corrupt, so just full of shit, like the attempt at internet censorship, by all means, we'll all get together, we'll have a fucking major firefight against the government at large. At that point, we have every right to fucking really man up and get every fucking gun you possibly can, because the fight will definitely be on. Until then, pay attention to the bill, make sure it's not written the same way that act was being written, and we'll be fine. They're not trying to take your guns away. We're trying to make sure that guys like that don't have access to their parents' arsenals or cannot make an arsenal themselves. That, God forbid, one day they snap for whatever reason, will not load up and go down to a school or a place of business or out in public and lay waste. Because it may not just be a school, it could be any one of those places, and then we'll freak out over that, and then we'll go back to square one of how can we protect that area. And we'll, quote unquote, heroes, supposedly pop up with guns again and, pretend they're something that they're not. Security guards. So, that's my take on it. Gun control needs to be controlled. The end discussion. People who should have access to it, should have access to it. People who shouldn't, civilians, I want you to carry your guns. I want you to protect your family. But please understand why I say this. Not all of you have the right, because mentally you're not fucking there. If you don't believe me, just do this. Go to YouTube, which you're right now, and just type in this gun fail compilation, and tell me how many of those people with guns really deserve to have that shit in their hands, or how the fuck did they get that to begin with? Keep your guns, keep safe. Folks, I don't want you to not have your guns, but understand politicians are lying to you. I will be posting some links to, hopefully, other users of some shit they said. If not, I'll just put it on my Facebook, and you can fucking come follow me there and see how there's the people with the head on straight who think straight and are taking this seriously, and other people that think the politicians are just fucking dictators and all shit like that. Listen, if our politicians were truly dictators, folks, this freedom of speaking to you would not exist. The ability to still get a gun now would not exist. People are flipping out going, the guns are first. It happened with Stalin. It happened with all these other people. Listen, when those assholes went after their people, they didn't say take their guns. They say we're gonna kill you, motherfuckers. They didn't say we're gonna take your guns away and live under our rule. They said, all right, folks, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Anyone else want to be dead? No, then you listen to us. And then they came for the guns and the food and everything else along with it. They didn't just say guns and then that was the end of the mess. They wiped out people as a warning shot. Understand that. They wiped out people as a warning shot not to fuck with them. They didn't just take away their guns and say that was a warning shot. They laid waste to people, and that was their warning shot. And then they said, all right, folks, if you don't want to be like them, listen to us and give us all your shit. Otherwise, you'll join your friends in the ground or just be burnt. So take it into context, take it in reality, get your feet on the ground, think straight. Not coming after your guns, they're coming after the idiots who have the guns. And unfortunately, there's way too many of them out there, thanks to crappy, unfortunate government. The Bureau of Alcohol, Firearms, and Tobacco have as a division about this big to control a country this big of all the guns in the world. They haven't done it. They haven't had a sole director in over 6 years. They've had acting directors. Think about that. If we had acting president for 6 years, you imagine how fucked this country would be. We have an acting director for the past 6 years, and the guy who just got appointed by Obama, and I want to defend him. I want to, but I can't because the choice he has. So far, it says that we need to curb whistleblowers because whistleblowers will create more scandals. I'm sorry. I like whistleblowers because they blow the spots of people who are doing bad things. They bring things to light. Otherwise, not all things that are done behind the curtains ever get fixed. They just kind of get shoved underneath the carpet a little bit more. Whistleblowers, you ain't get out of the carpet and throw it into full blown light. We need those kind of people. And unfortunately, this guy said that, which makes me go, I can't support you, Obama, on your decision on this one. I'm hoping maybe it's a sin he learned, but this is pretty recent. I can't back you on this one. Sorry, dude, you're on your own with that. So, I wonder if that rambling ever made sense. I don't care. That's just how I'm seeing things right about now. Because gun control as a whole is one big massive fucking ramble of what the fuck's going on. But there are pieces and shreds and ways to fucking come back down to earth and, get this under control. So gun owners, shoot up, but please understand when I say this. Not taking them away, just trying to curb who actually has them. That's the bigger thing. If they start going into that big shit like the internet censorship, then by all means, I'll jump on board with it because that's usually when bad things tend to happen. So I have my heroes. You've seen who they are. You have your heroes. I'm hoping they're good, outstanding people. And I'll leave you with this. I am Vash. I am here every Friday. So Best's podcast is up every Wednesday. It will be a lot more fun than me talking political with you folks. I guarantee you I'll be probably drunk as shit during the podcast and more fun topics, not this political stuff. And these dogs are fighting again. I'm gonna kick that dog in the teeth in about 3 hot seconds. But until then, have fun, be merry, and there's one more hero I will leave you with, my favorite hero right now. And if he was here, I think we'll all agree that the world would be a better place. So, folks, next week, eat, drink, be merry, and I will see you next time. Peace, bitches! Doctor!